Before I joined Cashflow Tribe, I would go to these meetups and nothing really changed. There was no accountability, which is one thing that's really core to Cashflow Tribe. Not only did you have this intense sense of community, but you also had accountability.
I was working for somebody else that was not me. Okay, this 9-to-5 rat race that I'm trapping, I don't like it. I know something is bigger there for me.
Cashflow Tribe has been some serious practitioner information that I was able to tap into. I knew I needed to take it to a higher level.
Cashflow Tribe was Canadian, and that's what really kind of moved me more towards them. This is exactly the kind of group and people that I want to be part of.
If somebody's losing in one of my deals, I don't want to do a deal. If I cannot have my partners to win on the deal as well, I don't want the deal.
My name is Douglas.
My name is Tish.
My name is Alex, and I am
And I am
And I'm Cashflow Tribe.
Cashflow Tribe.
Cashflow Tribe. Huh.
Cashflow Tribe, what's going on, everybody? I hope y'all are doing super well because today is Wednesday. That means we are bringing you with another awesome topic and a fantastic guest that I cannot wait to introduce to y'all. It's been a phenomenal few weeks for those who have been running with us. And listen, if you're brand new, I want to welcome you to Cashflow Tribe's REI Basics with Blagrove. The premise and the purpose is simple. If you are someone who's interested in doing deals, looking to get into your first rental property or to complete your first deal, this is the right place because we bring on people with topics, tools, and strategies for you to be able to get from 0 to 1 as fast as possible. And we in Cashflow Tribe want to come alongside you to really do that. With that said, as people are coming in, just want to throw up a quick poll just so I can get a view of the room. Let me know where you are on your journey, okay? You're either brand new, which is mean you're just learning, trying to get an understanding of where you're at. You're an action taker. I'm ready to do my first, my second, or my fifth deal. Or you're a little more experienced. You're on your fifth, sixth, seventh, and onward. Fill out that poll. Want to get a view of how we're doing in this room and kind of where we're at, because I got a really special topic, guys. The topic for today is about how you can use real estate as a vehicle to one day quit your job. And that is the goal for many of us who come across the real estate investing world, because it does wonders for many people. It's been done wonders for many people that I know, including our guest investor. And I'm definitely looking forward to bringing him on so y'all can learn from him. We got Tanya Blakely in the building. We got Andrea Richards from the Halton Hills. What's going on, ladies? Jan Carpenter, Tony Bush. What's going on, Jeffrey from Mississauga? Who else we got up in here? We got Amanda Schultz. It's good to see everybody. I got to give a special shout out to two lovely, awesome ladies who are holding it down for your boy. All right. First and foremost, I got to give a shout out to Anastasia. She is the master behind the scene, making this all go smooth. And so I got to shout her out, as well as Flora. Flora is an awesome person who's going to be really helping us out as we go through this conversation. You see her in the chat. Any questions that you have about anything we're talking about, she absolutely can be looking to serve and help you in any way, shape, or form. All right, let's go to the polls and see where we're at. So about 44% of y'all, I'm going to just end it here and show you what's up. 44% of you are brand new. That is super cool, man. So glad that y'all are brand new, ready to learn, ready to go. And 44% of y'all are ready to take action. That is super cool. So here's my challenge. I need y'all to listen to what's going on tonight, take note, and then take action. That's what I need y'all to do, all right? About 11% of y'all are on your fifth, sixth, seventh deal, which is super cool. Always love having you guys in here because it's awesome to get that counsel, to get that experience, and to get that insight as y'all are here. Tony, we got Tony in the building. Tom Dela Cruz. John, what's going on from Keswick? New to Cashflow Tribe. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, guys. I actually want to pull up just one more poll just to get an understanding. Who is brand new here? I want who's brand new to Cashflow Tribe, just so I get an understanding of the audience. That way I can skip over the preliminaries if you're not new. But if you are new, maybe I can do a little something. But fill that out real quick. And I'm going to pull up the presentation while we are here. So, all right. I'm going to pull it up. Here it is. How to quit your job and become a full-time real estate investor with my special guest, Jose Zambrano. It's going to be awesome. Really excited because it's going to be a phenomenal topic. I hope you guys are ready. All right. And so who else we got a few more people in the comments. Definitely continue to engage with us. Put your name, tell us where you're from, where you're tuning in from. About 30% of y'all are new to Cashflow Tribe. So hey, listen, real quick, Cashflow Tribe is just a real estate investing community of over 3,000 people. What we look to do is we look to help people who want to do their deals, who do first or second or third deal or even more. It's all about just coming alongside you through 4 core principles. It's results, it's community, it's impact, and transparency. So we want to display that all throughout of today's show. All right. And so if y'all could do me a solid, put that phone on DND, Put those kids on D&D if you can. Man, I'd love for y'all just to engage with us as we have this awesome conversation. We will be having a Q&A session toward the end of this, so definitely stick around for it should you have any burning questions. But with that said, like I mentioned, my name is Daniel Blagrove. I'm a member of Cashflow Tribe. Been here since the beginning, really, because I am the number 7 of over 3,000 members now in Cashflow Tribe. Also the host of The Pitch, which is like a Dragon's Den-like show that is streams on YouTube and on Facebook. As well as I'm a member of the Council Mastermind. I've been a part of it since the beginning, and I've been doing deals since 2019, looking to do many, many more. But enough about me. It's all about my special guest. His name is Jose Zambrano. He is an electrical engineer by trade. He's worked in the energy industry for over 9 years. All right. He began his journey back in 2019, where he partnered with a few of his friends to do some renos and other projects, indirectly getting a taste of real estate investing on the side. Fast forward to January 2020, he joined Cashflow Tribe, shout out to Cashflow Tribe, in May, and he decided to quit his job to smoothly transition into the REI world. Y'all, let me know in the chat, how many people, just so I can get an understanding, how many people are actually looking to transition smoothly into the REI world? Meaning, you're not jumping in from 1 to 2 worlds. You're half the day working on this thing, the other day you're then working on real estate, and like how many are truly looking to transition to the real estate world and use that as the main source of income for time freedom, for family freedom, whatever the case may be. And so with that said, he currently is in the process of becoming a full-time real estate investor. And so, Jose, I see your camera's on. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. So thank you very much for having me, guys. So it's really exciting. I'm really excited to be here. So it's been quite a journey for me. So yeah. Let's get it.
That's awesome. No, I'm so glad that you're here. I'm really looking forward to seeing how we can add value to the group tonight. And so Tanya Blakely is excited. We got Faith. Awesome. In Hamilton. Oh, congrats. Joining new to Cashflow Tribe. That's awesome. Really glad that you're here. All right. And so this is today's goal. All right. Jose and I, this is our goal. We want to use the tactics from what he's going to dispel on us and allow us to be able to take these things and apply it to our lives for the purpose of generating results. This is the true and the reality of what we're looking to do. Okay, I understand that many of us will come to learn, and maybe many of y'all get a lot of information on YouTube, maybe on social media through Facebook groups. But here is the goal. The goal is simple. It is one thing for you to listen to Jose and what we're going to talk about tonight. It's a whole other to take it and apply it. So I implore you, please. Even if you're from Timmins, please apply the knowledge that we're about to share today, because it will not profit you anything if you do not do so. Now, Jose, can you maybe just talk? I actually want to talk about this real quick. So how do we prepare for the transition, right? We're talking about we're in our jobs, or maybe we don't even have a job. Who knows? But let's just say we have a job. We're bringing in some income, right? But it's not what we're looking to do long term. So we have our eyes set on real estate. What do we need to be thinking about in order to have this transition?
Well, so for me, it all comes to the basics, right? So whenever you go to any mastermind group or you go to any real estate investment resources that are out there, or any personal development resources, books, and so on. So everything starts from educating yourself, right? So if you don't start leveling up your game, your knowledge, and the capacity, the ability that you have to apply in whatever you want to do in life, so it will be hard, right? So the first thing that I will do is just start by learning new skills, right? So learning, right? So you can get, nowadays we have access to all kind of resources online. We have books, but we also have connections, right? So we have people around us that, so it's very important, to elevate your game by creating connections, right? So go and talk to people, go and see what's up, check what others are doing around you. So that's and I believe that this community here, Cashflow Tribe, it's an awesome place to learn, right? So because you're surrounded with all kind of people, from we were seeing in the post, there's people that are pretty much starting to navigate into this into this world. They're pretty much beginners. There are all that are seasoned investors. So experience with more than 5 deals and so on. So basically you can start, interacting. We have a great community. We have great tools. So in fact, this is, I believe that this topic today, it's very, very interesting because, there's not like a silver bullet. There's not like a magic trick that you can pull and say, hey, now I'm ready to live my job. Everybody's situation is different. Everybody's story is different. So, I mean, do yourself a favor and don't compare to others, right? So you have your own journey, your own story. So keep building on that, right? So what I will say is, hey, how can I start becoming a better person? How can I start acquiring knowledge? How can I start interacting with people that will make me a better person? And what I can learn from. And that's pretty much the stepping stone, right? So that's what I will say that you need to start. So I wanted also to make a comment. So in one of the Cash Flow Tribe forums, I created a discussion probably a month or 2 months ago about this same topic, and we have some nice interaction from people saying, hey, this is what I'm going through. And I will encourage everybody just to jump into that discussion and start building, because we can learn from each other. I'm in the middle of this journey. Everybody has something to say, right? So everybody has value to add. So it will be a good idea also in the next coming days just to jump in that discussion and start, learning from each other, interacting. Who knows what can we get from there? So again, everybody has their own struggles, their own and also their own dreams, right? I would say that would be kind of the second step. So you need to make sure that you define who you want to be as an investor, or what do you want to be in life, right? Because it could be different. There's people that may be just, looking for like a side hustle to make some cash on the side, but there's people that want to live out of that, or there's people that want to build an empire. I don't know. You have your own dreams, right? So you need to have that clear. So you need to know where you want to be so you can plan accordingly and take the steps that you need to get there.
Man, that is so valuable. Before you even make the transition, you got to know where you're transitioning to and what is that transition going to look like when you get there. It sounds very elementary, but everybody wants to quit their job and go into real estate. But there's so many things of what that could possibly mean. And not everybody wants the same thing. And I think that's why it's so important to really understand what that looks like, not just for you, but maybe if you got a family, maybe if you're married, maybe you got to see how does this impact other parts of your life that are meaningful to you. And based on that, you can then start to choose what direction you want to go in. I posted the forum that Jose was talking about in the chat. So if you are interested in seeing what that discussion looks like, definitely click that link of what Jose is mentioning. A lot of activities is going on in that forums. One question I wanted to ask you, Jose, is when you were first getting some feelings about wanting to make this transition, what were some practical things that you were doing back then that was very helpful for you, and why was it helpful for you to do those things? Well, pretty much the first thing that I did is basically create a solid budget. I needed to know what did I need to get in order to keep my lifestyle a comfortable level of lifestyle, because I have a family, right? So my tolerance to risk was lower. It was different if I was starting this journey, in my early 20s, that I can, take some risks and not affect many people. But now I have a family, I have young kids. So I needed to make sure that if I were to leave very stable job that, by the way, I love my job. There was nothing wrong about my job, right? It was pretty much in the industry that I wanted to be. I was surrounded with people I wanted to be, but I wanted more. So that job, as good as it was not getting me closer to the person that I wanted to become. You know what I mean? So that's something very important. As soon as I started getting clear on what was how my life, where I wanted to be, basically, how I wanted my life to look like in 5, 10, 15 years, right? So then, making that move starting to make more and more sense, right? And I have to say, someone made a comment in the forum saying that probably will be the scariest decision that you're gonna make, but it's worth it. At the end of the day, it's worth it. But I also have to say that I'm a very analytical person myself. So I have to have the things pretty much figured out before I take actions, right? So I'm learning to be more flexible and to be more tolerant with risks. But
for many months, I was kind of in analysis paralysis, saying, "Hey, I want this to make sense, so I'm taking, baby steps." But at some point, you have to take action. You have to pull the trigger, and you have to. So, yeah, I would say that as practical steps is that having clear where I wanted to be, and then making sure where I needed to be, also in terms of income and the financial aspect. So to keep my lifestyle, to keep taking care of my family. And as soon as I have that somehow figured out, I just pulled the trigger, and I couldn't be happier. Let me tell you. So I was, as I said before, I was working a great job in a huge company, but I'm really happy on how my journey has been going so far.
I think that's a very, very important point, because for many people, maybe what's more popularized is the fact that, I'm working a job I hate, and I hated my boss. I couldn't wait to say I'm firing my boss because I can go out and do real estate full time. But the truth is that's not everybody's case. The reality is Jose actually enjoyed his job. He was blessed to be able to work in a field that was desirable. He was working in a job that was working well, was growing, a big company, but his why is not the same as someone else who hates their job. It really comes down to, what does Jose want? For some people, their motivation is getting out of what they don't want, and what they don't want is their current situation, right? And so you got to really take inventory of yourself, where you want to be, where you want to go, and why that's the case. I did pull up a poll here, and I really want to see how this is going to fare out. How much money do you need per month? All right. The key word here is need. I didn't say you want per month. I said, how much money do you need? Meaning, how much do you need to survive? That is what I'm asking. 47% of you right now are saying over $7,500 per month. I'm telling you right now, I guarantee you do not need $7,500 to survive. Maybe if you got like 6 kids, or you got a lot of expenses that are necessary, but I'm talking about survival here, right? Because we're going to get into something that I'm pretty sure Jose is going to agree with me with, but I want to wait till we get there. But right now, there's about 5% of you who filled out the poll. Now it's down to 4 who said under 2,000. Very interesting. 34% are between 2 to 5, and about 26 between 5 to 7.5 thousand. So that's really interesting. We're going to continue this conversation. But now you're thinking, Jose, okay, you filled out a budget, you're talking to people, you're getting resources, you're understanding where you want to go and why you want to get there, all right? But you're still in your job, all right? Now, here's an interesting thing. You were in a good job, and you weren't unsatisfied with your job. You didn't hate your job. You didn't wanted to go crazy on your workplace. But some people are in that situation, and they find it very, very challenging to leave. For some people, it could be comfort. For some people, it could be fear of the unknown. For other people, I don't know. Here's the question I want to ask you. What is the number one reason people stay at their job?
Well, I would say in my mind, if the number one would be fear, because it's especially when you got a stable job, right? So it's fear. I mean, it's fear of the unknown. So it's fear that, hey, I'm used to certain things. I'm used to the comfort saying that every 2 weeks I'm gonna get my paycheck, and I got benefits. I got this, and that, right? So jumping to things that you don't know, so it's fear. But also in my case, I said it before, it was pretty much analysis paralysis. I was pretty much waiting for the right moment, right? So say, hey, no, right now the market is overheated, so it's not the right moment because whatever. Oh no, the market cooled down. It's not the right moment because you cannot find a property. I mean, it could be many reasons. So I would say that but I would summarize it on in pretty much in fear, right? So when you start kind of making yourself like a vulnerable and saying, hey, I need to learn new stuff, because as soon as you start learning and growing as a person, that fear start fading, right? And then you will start finding reasons that are or motivations that are bigger than that fear. At that moment, I believe that you're ready to make a decision or take that step.
I think it's very interesting that you mentioned comfort. It's actually you would think comfort is a good thing, but in this scenario, it actually could be hurting you. And it actually could be the thing that's preventing you from getting where you want to go. Before I actually engage in that real quick, I do see some people in the chat. Steven, I see you. You have 6 kids. That's phenomenal. That is a big family to take care of. And Andrew Richards says you need lots of money if you own a house and have kids. And you know what? That's absolutely for sure. What we see in the polls here, I'm actually going to end the poll here. So about 3% of people say they need just under 2,000. I'm gonna tell you right now, those are the people who can transition the easiest. Those are the people who can transition the easiest, because the less overhead you have is the less you need to worry about. Now, if you're someone who's in the 7,500 plus camp, then yeah, that's a lot of money every 30 days that you need to make sure is there in order to put food on the table, to take care of your kids and your spouse and whoever else is under your care. And so the reason why I mention that is because if you can reverse engineer and figure out what is it that you need, then that is part of the whole goal of making that budget and recognizing, okay, what kind of financial, mental, and emotional discipline do I need to make sure that I am meeting these standards from month to month? Now, when it comes to comfort, I really want to get your opinion on this, Jose, because when you have a predictable paycheck that comes in every 2 weeks, like all you got to do is show up. For some people, it's just wake up and turn on your computer. Just wake up, turn on your computer, or go to the office, do your work, and then go home. You will get a paycheck. That is by law if you trade your time, you will get money. That is something that is guaranteed, because if they don't, then you can actually go after them. In real estate investing and investing full-time as an investor, that is not there. You do not have a guaranteed paycheck as a result of trading your time. And so, Jose, what do you say to those people who are in the process of wanting to transition? They have a goal, but it's like, man, you know what? I want to, but I don't know if I can, just because I don't know if I can deal with that burden. How do you speak to that person who's going through that right now?
Well, I will say that the comfort zone is the enemy number one of growth, right? So, and I'm pretty sure that many here would agree with me saying that the life of an investor is also a life full of risk, right? So you have to elevate your tolerance to risk, because it's as you said, it's pretty nice to have something warranty where you, as you said, nowadays you only need to turn your computer on and just show your face and you have something warranty. But at the end of the day, I really love one of the samples that Mark Smith gave in one of our master classes. He say, "Hey, I was bribed for so long with a nice paycheck." And I could relate with that, because yeah, you have a nice paycheck, you have that sense of security and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it all comes to your why. I mean, even a good job, is it getting you closer to where you want to be, to your why or not? So if it's not getting you closer there, so you have to do something, right? I'm not saying that it's easy. I mean, it's scary. Some days I will describe my journey as an investor as a growing curve, but it's not steady at all. I mean, one day I'm at the top of the mountain, the next day I'm bottom, but you need to be consistent. You need to keep showing up. Very important. You need to be surrounded of like-minded people, right? So they are the ones that will also keep you. You have to find right partnerships. So, I mean, it's if I used to be a lone wolf for so long. So, it was hard for me to kind of take risks, because I say, hey, if something goes wrong, so I'm by myself here, I'm going down. So, but now I'm surrounded of many people that say, hey, the day that I'm down, so they bring me up and stuff. So I have been learning, I have been growing. So that's what's all about, right? So it's get rid of your comfort zone and just go and take the next step. And everybody said it, and I'm pretty sure that you will agree with me. After the hardest one is the first deal. After you do the first deal, then everything becomes easier. You say, hey,
100%.
Exactly.
I agree with you.
You get a sense of relief. You say, hey, this actually worked. I can do it. So you gain confidence and so on. So it's a matter of keep showing up, keep hustling until you get it, and then being clear of where you want to get and do what I love what you keep saying, reverse engineer. So, okay, you need to bring your goals, back in parts, in small steps. So you can have measurable actions that you can take in order to get there. Right.
That's right. That's right. And I actually just put a poll up. All right. I want to know what your number one why is. I know we may have multiple reasons. Maybe among the options, all of them is a part of your why. But if you had to say this is the number one, the main reason, right now, over 50% of people are saying to replace their income, which means they want to be in a position where they can quit the job. Here's the biggest thing. I always say this to people. My goal is to be able to get to a place where I can work because I want to, not because I have to. See, a lot of us right now are working because we have to. We got to make ends meet. We got to take care of our responsibilities. We got to prepare for the future. And as a result, we are obligated to do it. But what if we put those obligations on assets that will take care of it for us? What if we understand we can create an infrastructure that can serve us rather than trading our time to serve it? And that's essentially what this whole conversation is about. If you're able to be in a place where you can quit your job or at least work because you want to, not because you have to, then you've done exactly that. And this is the biggest thing that we really want you to take away. When it comes to investing in real estate and being scared to really take that jump, the main reason is because you have a predictable two-week paycheck, and you also have a fear of the unknown. You don't know how this is actually going to go. You're not sure because it isn't guaranteed. And the truth is, you're right. It is not guaranteed. It is 100% dependent on your level of action that you take on a given basis in order to produce a result. But here's what I would say, and Jose, I want to get your opinion on this. If you are afraid of the unknown and you don't know what is next, the solution is to get connected to people who know and have that answer. See, you don't have to go it alone. There's this assumption that just because I want to do something, I got to do it by myself. That is not the truth. The reality is, Jose actually mentioned it in the first slide when he was talking about when you're preparing for this transition, you want to get connected to the people who are actually doing what you're looking to do or have done what you're looking to do. And the reason is because you'll have these questions and you'll not only be able to get the answer, but you'll be able to see it in practicality. Not only that, but here's the third thing. Jose just mentioned it. When you are able to do that first deal, when you're able to do it from end to end and complete it, you now have what you call a proof of concept. What that means is you're not just speaking on theory. You're actually saying this really happened. It really happened. This is exactly what took place when I did my first wholesale deal back in 2019. I didn't think it would happen for me. I thought it was only an American thing. Can't really happen in Canada because you don't have access to data the way that the US does. But I put it out on Kijiji. Somebody called me. I booked the appointment. I negotiated a price, and I got it assigned to a flipper that I met at a networking event, and I got paid 2 weeks later. And I had a check in my hand as a result of 6 hours of work. My mind was completely blown, and I had realized this can work. All I got to do is work it. And so let me know in the chat if you guys have questions, if you have thoughts, if you have fears. We want to address it today. We want you to get clarity so you can start to plan that transition yourself. Now, we're not asking you after this call, go put in your 2 week notice. Okay. That's not what we're saying. All right. We want to plan. We want to have a long-term view as well as a short-term view and understand how it's going to play out based on what you desire. Right. All right. So let's move on to the next section. Now you're committing. Okay. We've addressed our fears. We know what we want to do and we don't want to go back. Jose, talk to us. How do we make sure that when we plan this transition, we get the network in place, we make our budget, we understand our targets, we're doing the action now, we don't put ourselves in a position where we got to look back and see who's hiring?
Okay, I think that one of the things, one of the most important things for me will be don't find yourself in a new comfort zone, right? Because it's very easy to say, hey, I make a couple of deals and now, okay, I'm fine, I'm doing good. No, this game is always changing. There will be more people competing for the same deals. There will be more players. I mean, the market change. We are now in the middle of pandemic. Who knows how this is going to look like in the next in the next 12 months, right? If the bubble going to burst, is not. I mean, many things could happen. So you have to keep growing. You have to keep growing. You have to keep investing in yourself. So keep growing as a person, growing as a business person, growing your business. You have to be consistent and keep showing up. So that will be the first thing. The second one will be, don't compare yourself to others. And I said that before, but I cannot stress that enough because it's very easy to go after the shiny object, say, hey, that guy's doing wholesaling, so I'm going to do wholesale now. Oh, no, the other guy's a flipper, so I'm going to flip now. So, oh, he's lame. So there are many. your journey is unique. It's you have your particular situation. You have your own skill set. There's something that you're good at, right? So the next one will be find your niche, right? So for me, that has been a very important part of my journey. So I started kind of trying to taste everything to get, hey, I see that that person is doing well as a wholesaler. Why don't I go and launch my flyer campaign? Or no, I want to be a flipper, or this and that, right? So part of my journey has been to, okay, what are my skill set? What is how does it look like in my current business, where I can perform better? So I started to pretty much create a business concept surrounded around that. I'm in the process to find that niche, right? So where I'm good at, and then scaling there and repeat. So if I will say something, so you have to have a clear strategy, find your niche, and make sure that, and I will say that this is probably the most important one, make sure that you're building a business, right? So because in a market like this that is overheated, so I heard all kind of stories, right? I heard some people that, I closed on a property that I want to flip, so that the process has been taking like 6 months. So the market is so crazy that not only making money on the flip, but also in the appreciation of the market. So, it's making all kind of money, but it's very easy to look up. I'm not going to say that it's easy, but you could easily find yourself in a situation that you were going to look like a superstar because you have 2-3 deals in a row that are making you a lot of money. But then what? I mean, are you really building a business? So, and from my point of view, you need to find a way to get your business in solid foundation, in a way that is pretty much is clear, is repeatable, is scalable, and also is flexible, because you need to adapt yourself to the new conditions of the market, to the new players, to the new rules, so whatever it's gonna be, right? So you need to make sure that you are actually building a business. As it's not like a one-offs that you are nailing here and there, or as Matt McKeever always say, like magic, you're pulling magic tricks. But I mean, you're a flipper, okay? Can you execute a flip? Yes. Now, can you execute 10 more? So can you source the deal? Do you have all what it takes to keep growing and growing? So that's the way I say it. So as soon as you're building a solid business, so there's no reason why you will need to get back. So, but it takes clarity, it takes work, it takes a lot of effort. But as soon as you get there, there's no reason why you should even think about getting back to 9 to 5.
Man,
I think that you're muted, Daniel.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. If I could just drop a bomb on what you just said. Oh my goodness, that was fantastic. I just put it in the comments. Guys, we need to create something that is clear. Oh, I didn't put it in the chat. I'm going to put it right now. That is clear, it's repeatable, it's scalable, and it's flexible. But here is the key. You have to niche down. You've got to get clear on your business model. You see, if you're looking to flip here, and then you're looking to buy student rental over there, and you're looking at Airbnb that over there, and then buy this 20 building over there, and then buy this granny suite, and then convert it into a garden suite, and then make it into a triplex, and then build a backyard. Listen, that is something that can work, but only if you are of someone who was like an Elon Musk, or like someone who's like got all these crazy things going on and somehow has a way to do it. Listen, I'm not saying it's impossible, but we're trying to talk about how we can set you up for success. The best way to set you up for success is to drill down. What do I mean by that? You want to go 1 inch wide and a mile deep. You want to specialize. You want to be known as a certain player in the marketplace. When your name is able to be mentioned in a certain circle and people immediately recognize you for a strategy, it means you're doing it right. Now, I'm not saying not to be a one-trick pony. Remember, because Jose did say you want to be flexible. Not everything is going to work in every part of the market cycle, but that doesn't mean that you're just going to go from one thing to another just because the weather changed, right? And so you got to have a solid business model. Keep those questions coming, guys. Really, really, really appreciate that. Definitely keep them coming, because I'm going to have Jose really address them, which is super awesome. And I appreciate Anastasia for helping me in the chat. So here's the thing, Jose. We want to make sure we don't go back. We got to get clarity on our goals. We got to make sure we're setting the budget. We know the target. But one thing people don't realize is when it comes to leaving a job and then working on your own business, nobody's going to care about it as much as you. You see, the truth is, when we're working for other people, we don't care about it as much as the founder or the CEO or a C-suite executive. And so we have to take on the ownership to make sure that this ship is staying afloat and actually goes with the tide as we work on our business, right? And so because I don't want to give the impression that just because, quitting a job sounds glamorous, that it's easy. It's not. You have to put in the work. So, Jose, for someone who's in transition, what does that look like? What kind of expectations do we need to have for ourselves if we want to actually make this transition so that we don't go back?
Well, I will say that you need to elevate your game, right? So you need to start thinking now as a business owner. So that's something that we keep discussing on our within our connections in the council in Cash Flow Tribe, because you need to put in place systems. You need to put in place, all that you need to in order to achieve what I was mentioning before. Pretty much build a business that you can scale, right? So it's probably, if you're good enough of a salesman or of a motivator, you can create a snowball, right? So you can have a blast, right? But if you cannot manage that growth, that could also turn against you, right? So you need to make sure that you have system in place. You need to make sure that you have the right people surrounding you, that you're hiring the right people. So it's now you are the founder, you are the CEO, you are that person that is the one that cares the most, right? So you need to really spend time, pretty much getting your solid foundation for your business. So it takes time, it takes effort, but it's worth it for sure.
You are the head honcho. Here's a good way to put about it. I was actually watching the NBA playoffs last night. The Lakers were playing the Phoenix Suns. LeBron James was playing the Phoenix Suns, and it was 2-2. All right, they each won 2 games, and now it's a pivotal game 5. This game 5, historically speaking, according to the NBA stats, the team that wins game 5 after a series is tied 2-2 wins the series at a record rate of 82.7% of the time. So It's a pivotal game 5. It is a very important game 5 because historically speaking, the winner is going to win 82% of the time. The Lakers, LeBron's team, got blown out. They got completely destroyed. They lost by 30. They lost bad. And what was interesting is I was listening to a sports analyst, and he was saying, you see, when LeBron wins the championship, we're giving him all the credit. We're giving him all the praise. But in this instance, we also got to give him all the blame, because if he's going to be the leader of the team, he's got to be celebrated as also held accountable. And it's the same way in our business. No one else is going to want to do it for us. And this is also why the rewards of quitting your job and being able to successfully create a business is all ours to enjoy, because we were the ones that took the risk, that took the responsibility, and took the action, and therefore we get the rewards. But the same is the other way. We can't look at the weather, we can't look at the government, we can't look at our employer, we can't look at X or whatever Y. We got to look at ourselves and say, hey, what do I need to be doing every day to make sure I'm putting myself in the best position to win? All right. And so is there any thoughts on that? Do you agree with that, or would you say there's something different?
No, I do agree. And this journey is pretty much a roller coaster. I was saying that before. So one day you're on top of a mountain, the next day you're down. But again, you have to show up. You have to be consistent, right? So you have to be the motor, the driver of that business, right? Until you are solid enough that it's pretty much running by itself, and you go for the next journey, or you know what I mean, that it's working for you. But that transition process it takes time, effort, and a lot of hustle. But as you were saying before, the reward is way bigger, because you're the one taking the risk, and you're the one pretty much running the show, right?
That's right. So let's move on to what resources we have available. Okay, so how do we analyze what resources are beneficial for us or what's not? What do we need to be focusing on when it comes to resources?
Well, resources nowadays are everywhere, right? So, but you need to be careful, right? So, I would advise, hey, don't spend time, or don't spend your time or your money chasing something that you don't want to be, right? So there are many people, many experts out there online and stuff. So I mean, if you do you see yourself as that person, right? So if you find yourself as that person, so that's something that you may want to pursue, or you may want to try to go after, right? But at the same time, I will say that, and I bring this as an example, you know, my own example, my own journey. So for me, Cashflow Tribe was kind of an eye opener, and then Console was a game changer for me, right? So the resources are out there, right? So if for me, it was just about, hey, put yourself out. Also bring your ego down, because, you know, especially for if you're a young person, probably you won't be at that level. But, you know, if you have been working for 25 years, as it was my case, and, you know, I was doing very interesting things in my job, in my career. At some point, I have also to make myself vulnerable and say, hey, I don't know enough about this game for me to take it to the next level. So I'm here to be helped. I'm here to learn. So that was also very important for me. So not only the resources are there, but you need to learn how to make the most out of them, right? So just, you know, come with open mind and pretty much leave your ego on one side and say, hey, I'm here to learn. There's great people within this community that are doing things that you cannot believe. I mean, I wouldn't like to name, because I'm pretty sure that I will forget many of them. But, you know, when you start seeing what these people are doing here, you say, man, that's what I want to be. So that's what I've been doing. I've been learning. There's people that have been doing it for longer than me. So why don't I learn from them? So don't be afraid to pick up the phone and call them and make connection or ask questions, right? So that's, I mean, I would say that the fact that for our audience, the fact that you're here, it says something. I mean, you're in the right room. So, yeah, that's right. That's awesome.
No, I 100% agree with you. You got to take the right steps of action. You also got to just be taking action. So we've been talking a lot in terms of what that looks like in your head. Now let's put this to some physical stuff so we can see what's going on. All right. So we're going to dive into some case studies. Let me know how you guys are feeling, guys. Is this good so far? To give me a yes in the chat so that you're still with me. We're going to go into some practical stuff so you can actually see what this looks like for Jose, what this could look like for you as you look to make that transition. Let me see you in the comments so I know that you guys are with us. All right. So Jose, let's move into this case study here. Okay. Like now that we understand in theory what we need to do, how do we practically do it? Walk us through this case study and explain to us what that looks like now.
Well, pretty much I wanted to start my own business for longer than I wanted to be a real estate investor, right? So actually I was exploring many different. I was running my own business when I came to live here in Canada, right? So I just, you know, I tried to do stuff that didn't work, so I ended up being forced to get to my job, right? But I always got that in my mind, right? So I would say that for the last 2 years of my career at my previous job, I was kind of, you know, putting together some ideas. So how can I build my own business? How can I build my own stuff, right? So one of the things that I started doing is that I have friends, so I started to interacting with them. Say they're successful business people. So I would say, hey, what worked for you? What didn't work for you? So we started getting that knowledge from them, so until I get to this particular friend that I say, hey, why don't we start building something together? And we started kind of, you know, interacting on how can we create something. You know, only by the fact of putting ourselves out and giving ourselves the time just to explore. So some opportunities started to arise, right? So I identified and I went kind of, you know, aggressive, saying, hey, I can help you to build your business in a way, using my previous experience, in a way that we can get set up to start doing something else, right? We didn't know what that something else was, but then that as you were mentioning in my bio, so probably beginning of last year, I found Ben and Matt online, so I joined the Cashflow Tribe and say, hey, this is a nice vehicle. Of course, everybody knows that real estate is a nice vehicle, but, you know, do you have the knowledge to do something with it, or do do you have the knowledge to act, right? So after I started educating myself on this particular business, real estate, so we started kind of tailoring the way that we were structuring our own partnership in a way that we can also develop our real estate business, right? So that's what I did. Basically, I took my experience because I did a lot of project management, business development, and stuff like that. I say, hey, I can help you with your current business, and I can help building the new one. So he very quick, was caught on that idea, and we started doing that together. So it's that, leverage on your connections, leverage on your experience, because it doesn't matter where you are. You know something. You can that you can bring something to the table. Even though if you're just starting, man, you can bring time, right? If you're just in your 20s, you're out of school, so you have all the time in the world. So that's your resource. So go and use it, right? So offer someone that, hey, I have enough time. I'm eager to learn. So how can you use those resources? So that's what really worked for me, right? So using all that I learned, doesn't matter that it's related to real estate or not. So you have a lot of knowledge and experiences and stuff that you can apply to build a business, right? So that's what I started to do. Then, as I mentioned before, as you start creating then the right connections, so you start pretty much growing in the right direction. Then you build partnership with the people in your network. So that was one interesting part for me, because when I started this real estate journey, saying, hey, now what? So where I'm gonna find the people with the resources, or people that want to invest with me? How am I gonna raise money? How am I gonna do it? If I find a deal, how am I gonna fund it? Stuff like that. And it's the reality is that you're surrounded with people with resources that they don't even know. So you may have friends and family that have equity, RSPs, TSFA, savings, and whatnot. They may have 2 or 3 properties and they want to keep running. I mean, there's opportunity everywhere, right? So you just need to have the right knowledge and the right mindset and create that ability, that skill to identify and act, take action. That's the most important part, right?
Yeah, man. If I can just, I can't emphasize it enough, guys. Jose did a fantastic job of outlining what he needs, assessing what he has, and making those connections. You got to take the action. If this is all just a mental learning lesson, I implore you, this is a waste of time. You got to take action. You got to implement it, because we all care about the results. That's all we care about. All we care about is, how will my life change if I do it? But you got to do it. All right. You got to do it. Okay. Now let's go to this section here. We need to assess the situation and determine what criteria we need in order to fulfill, this is what we need to fulfill in order to transition into full-time real estate, right? We've kind of put out a few polls. Is it money you need, or is it like cash, or is it cash flow, right? How much time do you need? Do you need 6 months? Do you need 6 years? Are you fine to work until you're 60? Whatever your goals are, you got to assess the time, assess the money, right? Create a SMART goal, right? How many people know Matt McKeever always talking about a SMART goal? You got to be specific, measurable, attainable, relatable, and time bound. You got to make sure you have a very, 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 very clear target, and then assess the resources that you can leverage in order to do it, right? If it's time, leverage your time. If it's money, leverage your money. If it's relationships or experience or whatever the case may be, make sure you leverage that. And so for Jose, you looked into your network. You by just working your job and being able to build a professional network, you had people that you can strike conversations with, talk ideas, create a game plan, and then go out and execute. Now, this sounds very simple, but it really is simple. Doesn't mean it's easy. There is a difference between simple and easy. We all get simple, but how many of us are willing to do what is hard? This is what is required. This is just the truth. I don't want to sugarcoat it and let you guys know, oh yeah, quitting a job is easy. Everybody does it all the time. No, it's not. The truth is, it's great. It's a great reward, but it'll take a great amount of effort, and it will take a lot of focused passion in order to do it. Right. And so I really, really implore you guys, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat how many are taking action this week. I want to know. I need to know because I'm really, really hoping that Jose did not come here for no reason. I really want to see how many people are going to assess their game plan, really start to create a roadmap, all right? Create it from now, okay? How many people know where they want to be in 5 years from now? How many people know where they want to be in 1 year from now? How many people know where they want to be at the end of this year? You know what I mean? And you got to create that plan, assess the resources, create the game plan, and execute day in, day out, right? This is something that Jose and myself are actually doing, right? We're looking and assessing what resources do we have, what things can we do in order for us to work together and be able to create a business that will give us the results that we desire. You see, there's a beautiful thing when you assess resources and you assess the relationships because you'll find this thing called alignment. You see, alignment is where you will see everything match. See, the person who has time or money and resources match with the person who also can complement them, and they have the same vision, they have the same values, and they can go out and now execute. It just comes down to taking action, right? Tony says, I work on my plan every day. I love it. Lily says she agrees. I'm thankful. Listen, this is the reality, and this is how you'll be able to get results, all right? And so if you're new to Cashflow Tribe, I want to be real quick here. Take advantage of the resources we have at Cashflow Tribe, please. We have a course library where we're actually making big plans to add more to it, whether it's to analyze properties, how to put a pitch deck binder together, how to get your first 2 properties within the first year, or whatever your goals are, how to reverse engineer your goals and get to a place where you can quit your job in a certain amount of time, right? We got weekly trainings that happen. We got a Women of Tribe training happening at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got them every week on cashflowtribe.com. And we also have an awesome community of people who you can network to. Remember, guys, we've been stressing this. It's about who, not necessarily just how. You got to find the people who have the answers. Find people who have the answers, and you will be able to move faster. Premium calculators for all your deals and for all the things that you're looking to do. Run it through the calculators. Analyze your properties and do what you got to do to get clarity on your goals. All right. And then we also have free online events, just like this one. So I'm glad that y'all are here. All right. And then, of course, once again, deal analysis calculators in order for you to recognize what's a deal to you based on your goals. Here's one thing I actually want to talk about real quick. Everybody says, what's a deal? What's a deal? What's a deal? Guys, what a deal. A deal to you may be different from a deal to me. And I'll tell you why. It comes down to our goals. Remember what Jose's been talking about this whole time. You have to assess where you want to go based on where you currently are. For some people, remember that poll I put up where I said, how many people, how much money do you need per month in order to quit your job? 3% of the poll said they need less than $2,000 per month, less than $2,000. About maybe 30 or so percent people said they need $5,000. So the person who only needs $2,000 are going to be analyzing deals from a different perspective than from someone who needs $5,000. It doesn't mean that it's not a deal. It's all relative. This is why some people are willing to overpay for properties. Now, based on their financial decision, it could still be a bad buy for them. But if there are other people who are investing or buying from a completely different vantage point, that doesn't mean it's not a deal for them. And this is why it's so important to recognize you have to run deals for yourself. Going to another person and asking them, hey, is this a deal? And they say yes, maybe it's for them. But what about you? And it doesn't meet your cash goal or doesn't meet your cash flow goal, it's not a deal, right? And so I just want to talk on that real quick. We have all of that with Cashflow Tribe, and we implore you to take action, and we want to come alongside you to do it. Real quick, it's only $588 to join and to be with us for the whole year. For the whole year, all right? You get $120 off the membership. You'll get access to all the things I just said, unlimited for the whole year. You'll have access to all the tools and resources that you need. And this is what's the whole goal is results. The whole goal is results. Show up, take action, get results. Show up, take action, get results. All right. And as a bonus, if you're going to join with us, we want to throw in the Mastermind Experience ticket. It is going to be free for you if you grab an annual membership. In order to do so, all you got to do is text the number that Flora will put in the chat. Flora is the girl who you want to hit up because she's got the goods that you will be able to connect with her and be able to get that membership. Get that membership and be able to get to a new level and be able to get to that goal that you are setting for yourself. All right. And so here's a fast action bonus. The first person to sign up and get an annual membership and a mastermind experience ticket, you will get this for $338. All right. The original is $588, but you'll be able to get this for $338. All right. Flora will be able to set you up. Just reach out to her, text her, or email her. It's in the chat there, and you'll be able to get that as a gift. All right. And so this is the deal. Don't want to spend too much time on it. Only really want to speak to about for some of you who are interested and really looking to take it to the next level. Here's the value proposition. If you got questions, feel free to ask. But I'm actually going to go back and answer some of the questions that we had for Jose and myself. All right, Jose, you doing good?
I'm doing good.
All right. So let's go to, I'm going to start with Tom De La Cruz. Tom says, which strategy of REI did you, Jose, did you take? Was it flipping, lending, wholesaling, buy and hold? What strategies did you use?
Well, I started as with the flipping as a main strategy, right? So, but I also, as I mentioned before, I also took time to kind of explore what else is out there. So one of the things that I wanted also to address here is that part of my transition. So with I started with my business partner developing a home automation business, right? So that also put ourselves gave us
real quick, Jose. Sorry to interrupt. Just so everybody's following, what is home automation? Just for those who don't know.
Home automation is basically when you control lights, sound, video, or any other perks in your house, right? So you say, "Hey Siri, turn on the lights," or "Hey Siri, party mode." So you everything adjusts to whatever you want, right? So that's pretty much, in a nutshell. So, but we have been doing that in a certain type of market, right? High-end market in GTA in Toronto, right? So that also, we are also leveraging what we're doing there because we have been developing a good relationship with designers, with architects, with custom home builders and stuff like that, right? So now we started pivoting our strategy to what we call high-end flips, right? So pretty much we are now identifying certain properties with certain neighborhoods, north side of GTA, where we are either acquiring properties to to build custom homes or partnering with the homeowners to build some. So I mean, I wouldn't like to take too much time explaining what is it that we're doing, but in a nutshell is that. So what I have been doing is also creating the right partnerships. So we were also looking for someone that is good with the marketing, and it's like a people's person. So I'm glad to say that I'm a business partner with Daniel as well. So he's part of this business. So we are together. Right. Exactly. We are together developing something that I would call niche, right? Because not everybody's doing this. Not everybody knows how to do this. Not everybody has the right connections to do this. So that's pretty much where we are focusing. So not necessarily the cookie cutter type of flips that we just in and out, but we're trying to add a bit more value using very creative ways to approach, because these are deals that will require some more creativity in order to put them together, from the buyer, from the seller, from everybody involved. But that's I'm really excited because I feel that we're creating a niche. We're creating something that is that has its own uniqueness, and we are setting the base to pretty much build a process that we will be able to scale, not only in the areas that we are hitting right now, but we are bringing this. The plan is to bring this model to other markets. So that's pretty much where we are right now.
That's right. And this is one thing I really want to highlight here. Jose and myself, we're not just talking about it. We're actually doing it. We're literally business partners, and we are working with another business partner, and we're really working on establishing ourselves as the authority in that niche. We're going an inch wide and a mile deep. We really want to be able to know our stuff. We're not just going anywhere and everywhere. We know exactly what we want. We know what the problems that we're trying to solve, and we are going to execute with intention every single day. That's exactly what we're doing. Like this coming week, toward the end of this week, I'm looking forward to connecting with Jose and actually continually working on the next steps of our plan. How do we start getting things going? How do we start building traction? And what do we need to do? So that's literally the conversations that Jose and I, along with another business partner, are doing at this very moment in time. So I just want to highlight that to make sure they understand.
Daniel, that's the importance of making connections, right? So you and I just have one conversation, right? And we found that we have certain things in common, and we started aligning them together. And that's right. All that it took is that I contact you, right, via Facebook, whatever. So hey, here am I. This is what I'm doing, and we created a business out of that conversation, right? So that's something also very important that I will encourage everybody just to, start connecting to each other. There's people here that may be doing similar things, that they may have the skills or the resources that you need for your own business. So go out there and make those connections.
Absolutely, 100%. It's as simple as a phone call. Imagine one day, Jose called me and I was like, I don't know who Jose is, so I'm not going to bother. I would be regretting it because I wouldn't have known what an amazing person he is and how much we have an alignment to want to pursue this goal. So why not do it together? 2 is always better than 1, especially in real estate. When you have the right mindset, you have the same vision and the same values. 1 + 1 isn't 2. 1 + 1 is 4. It's multiplication. Yeah. I know mathematically doesn't make sense. You get the whole point. All right. Math police, don't come after me. Okay. All right. Okay. So Tom says, how long did it take you to transition where you no longer need to depend on your original 9 to 5?
Well, it took me probably, I would say that a whole year of planning, of exploring, of conversations, interaction, and it. To be honest, if I had the resources and the knowledge that I have now, it probably would have taken me 3 months, right? So it all comes to the right mindset, and to be honest, I didn't have it back there. So I mean, with the right, it depends. It will always depend on where you are, right? So it took a good year for me because honestly, I didn't have the right knowledge, resources, and connections. But as I was saying before, please go and connect with people that you will be amazed how great things you can achieve. Just learning from each other, having those conversations, and
Yeah, 100%. And I want to make one note. I see on the slide here, May 29th to 30th. That was the last mastermind experience we had over this past weekend. The next one is actually June 26th. Definitely be sure to grab an annual membership if you want to get a free seat at that table, or I'll be definitely doing some awesome stuff over that weekend. All right, Braden says, if you're still with us, how do you build your network when you don't have existing relationships with any investors?
Well, we're all here, right? So join Cashflow, and there are many strategies in there. There are forums, there are chats, there are connections. So we have Facebook groups. So start reaching and start following what the other people are doing, and the ones that you feel yourself kind of attracted, go and reach out. I mean, I can give some stories here, and I want to mention one because when I joined when I joined Consul, right? So one of the first people that I started following was TJ. TJ was here a couple of weeks ago, right? So yep. And that's a great guy, and one of his posts in Facebook was, hey, that was by New Year, so beginning of 2021. He say, hey, last year was great for me, so I would like to connect with new people and help them to grow. So please reach out. Sure enough, I reached out. I have some stuff going on with him as well. So I mean, that's it's all about connecting, right? So
that's right.
Nowadays it's very easy. I would say that Cashflow Tribe will be a good starting point just to get a hold on other investors. But as you start elevating your game, you can start narrowing your group and stuff. But yeah, it's the opportunity is there. I mean,
that's right. 100% agree with you. Braden, I'll say one thing. Here's my challenge to you. Braden, put in the chat and let me know you agree to it. There's over 3,000 people in Cashflow Tribe. I need you to connect with at least 100 of them. DM them on Cashflow Tribe. Reach out. Look, pay attention to people who are taking action, particularly people who are taking the type of action that you want to be taking. Network with those individuals. Reach out to those people and see how many conversations you generate. It really just does come down to a numbers game. You got to put yourself out there. You got to make the ask and you got to make the connection. Lead with value, but then leave it there and see where the conversation goes. That's my challenge to you, Braden. Tony Bush says, what are your thoughts on short-term rentals? I think this may be just a general question.
Yeah, that's a general. I mean, it's it depends on what's your strategy. I mean, as that Daniel was saying before. I mean, what a deal could be for you, it probably is not a good deal for me. I mean, I'm very clear on the type of strategies that I'm trying to put together. So probably that wouldn't be necessarily a good deal for me. But again, if you want to become an expert in short-term rentals and I'm making that as your main strategy. So go for it. I mean, go start learning out of that. And honestly, I don't have much value to add on that because I don't have the experience. I haven't done myself. But man, that it all depends on what you want to achieve, right?
Yeah, absolutely does. And once again, here's the general answer I'll put for all strategies, whether it's short-term, long-term, multifamily, single-family, duplex, whatever. What are your goals? That's the question. Because if your goals is you want to increase your net worth and you only want to do that by buying properties that will increase in appreciation very quickly, like in Toronto, maybe there are better strategies than short-term rentals. If your goal is you want to get really high cash flow and you want to do it in such a way where you can either maximize a single family home or whatever the case may be, maybe an Airbnb works good, maybe as a short-term rental, because they really bring in a lot of cash, especially when you're in a tourist area or in an area where a lot of people would visit and thus need an Airbnb to stay. But for someone who has a different goal, that may not be the make sense. Here's the truth. No matter what strategy you're using, somebody is using it and making money. That's the truth. Somebody is doing it and somebody's making money with it. So it's not a matter of if it works. It's a matter of will it work for you? And that's the truth. And I think once we filter through there, it'll make a lot more sense. And that's the whole reason why we really stress the importance of making a SMART goal. Make it very specific so you actually can evaluate it. This is my goal. This is the strategy I'm thinking about. Will this strategy accomplish this goal? And if the answer is no, just swap it out, put in another strategy and filter it. And then once you figure out which ones are the best performing strategies to accomplish that goal, then you'll have a lot more clarity and know how to move with intention. So we'll take just a couple more minutes here and take a couple more questions. Durga, what's up, man? It's good to see you on here. Hopefully you're still on. He says, do you have a strategy to get unsecured line of credit? Before you answer, Jose, let me say this. When it comes to unsecured line of credit, I don't have a massive ton of experience, but I feel like I can talk on it because this year alone, I've increased my my line of credit by around over 50,000. And so here's how I did it. I just made an ask. That's it. I kid you. Well, not only that. So I studied how I need to really, maximize my credit, right? I have a decent amount of credit, so I know I can qualify for certain products. And so I started talking to the banks, I started talking to mortgage brokers, I started talking to all kinds of people and seeing what I can get. While with TD, I maximized my line of credit. I went to another bank and then simply just applied and I made the ask, and I was instantly able to get $10,000 extra because I applied for it. And so for me, I don't have too much experience with it, but all I know is make the ask, make sure your credit is make sure you're working on your credit. But here's one thing I would say. The best time to get credit is when you don't need it. That's the truth. Because when you go to the bank and your credit is maxed out and you're asking for more, the bank's going to look at you and say, I don't know if you're going to be able to pay it off. You're already maxed out. I don't know. But if my line of credit is full, it's meaning it gets empty, like I have full capacity to use it, and I don't have. It looks like I don't need it for anything. They're like, yeah, sure. It seems like he's a good guy. Like, no need to have it. No need to worry about him. The credit is good. Running the numbers, yeah, sure, it's not a problem. And sometimes when it comes to systems, like I just applied on the website, and on the website it just approved me instantly. Like literally, I think maybe 4 weeks ago, I got an extra $5,000 just because I filled out a form online. But Jose, what would you say as far as getting extra line of credit?
No, I think that you covered pretty much most of the of what is it to say here. But I had done some other strategy, right? So I basically, if for any given reason at some point I have like a high ratio for utilization of my credit, so I went to friend and family to say, hey, can I borrow this much for 2 months, right? So at certain interest rates. So with that money, I pay off my stuff. So increase I free up my credit, increase my credit score and so on, and go and ask, right? So then I pay back. I mean, you can do different stuff, right? But
that's right.
Just say before. I mean, the key point here is to ask when you don't need it, because you have plenty. You're in control, so you can make educated decisions. So you are not pretty much trying to say, hey, I need it because I need to fund the deal, and then you may make not too wise decisions, right? But yeah, other than that, it's right. Just go and ask.
100%. What the worst they can say is no. Like I actually applied for What I do, what I actually try to do is every 4 months I look to reapply just because I know I can. And what I try to do is I try to ask for as much as possible, because I know if I don't get it, at least I'll get a little less than that. And who knows, maybe that little less is still more than what I originally was aiming for. You know what I'm saying? Like I think I had aimed for 10,000 extra, and I didn't get it. I only got approved for 7,500 more, but it was still more than what I had previously. I literally just added 7,500 on top of my line of credit, and I just added 5,000 more through another bank. And so definitely look to build those relationships with other banks. And by building relationships, I mean just like be able to ask for credit and be able to see how much you can get. Man, I've if I only learned this stuff like when I was younger, man, this is the value of Cash Flow Tribe. I'm telling you that if you can just get these answers now, you can move with so much more intention and with much more speed. 100%. We'll end off with this last question. Tommy says, were you still at your 9 to 5 when you joined Council?
No. When I joined Council, I was already working on that, let's say, the transitional business. But to be honest, I still have a lot of my 9 to 5 mindset, right? So that's why I say that Council was for me a game changer, because my growth after Council has been skyrocketing, just because of the level of the conversations, the level of the connections, the level of the topics that we address there, and the accountability. You're just pretty much elevating your game, right? So I'm a different person when it comes to the business that I was before, right? So that's.
And what I could say about that is that's as a result of you making that, like what we talked about, planning that transition, right? Yeah. Just because you planned it didn't mean that you were going to be the same person, right? The whole purpose of you planning that transition is because through intention and through consistent action, you'll become a person who is capable of being able to generate that income while not depending on your 9 to 5. And this is the whole reason why we have Cash Flow Tribe, so that we can continually challenge our paradigms, understand where we're coming from, so that we can take, so that we can learn and then grow and then be a person who's capable of accomplishing those goals. That's really what personal development is. That's all the personal development is. Personal development is the practice of doing things so that you can become the person who can accomplish that goal, right? I often use the sprinter analogy, right? You want to become an Olympic sprinter. Well, you got to do what Olympic sprinters do: how they train, how they sleep, how they eat, how they rest, how they prepare, what they do on race day, right? Whatever it is that they do on the track, you gotta, and mind you could be someone who is out of shape. Maybe you've never been on the track since you're in high school. Maybe you don't even know what your fastest record is. But personal development is the process of studying, learning, and practicing things that they do, so that one day you are in shape, you know the track, you know your times, and you can be in a position to accomplish the goal of being on the podium. That's what personal development is in real estate, in life, in business, and relationships. It's not just one area, it's every area, spiritually and all the other aspects that you're asking for. You got to become that person who can steward and accomplish those goals that you're setting before yourself. So with that said, Jose, here's one thing I want to ask you. As we're heading out of here, as we're bringing this to a close, there are some people who are inspired, because over 59% of you said that your number one reason for getting into real estate was to replace your income. 59% of the people on the poll said they want to replace their income as the number one reason. So speak to that 59%, Jose. What do you want them to walk away with coming from tonight?
Yeah, if you can walk away with something, is establish your goals. So build your vision board, be clear on what is it that you want to become, and go and take action, right? Go and take action. So it's you don't have to make a big jump to start with. No, baby step, but you have to take actions. That's the key, right? You have to show up. Connect with other people. So use all the resources that you have in hand. So, and don't fall in the trap, of that I felt before, the analysis paralysis. Don't think too much. Don't wait for the right moment, because it will never come. It will never come. You will never have the real situation. Right. I mean, it would be a rare. I would be very surprised if something like that happens. So just go and take action. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to talk to people. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there, because it's very important. For every yes, you will have, 7, 10 no's. So, but you got to keep pushing until you get what you want, right? So, yeah, if I will encourage people here with something, is go and take actions.
That's it, man. That's it. Please, we implore you, man. We care about you. We care about results, and we want to celebrate with you, but we can't just do it for you. We got to help you out, but you got to be the one to drink the water once you get to the well. So definitely want to appreciate Jose. Guys, in the chat, do me a solid favor, and let me know how you feel about Jose in the chat, because if you ask me, man, that was a phenomenal conversation. This is part of the reason of many why I'm so excited for the business venture that we're working on and what we're doing together, guys. So let him know how you feel. Do you want to have more talks on how we can get to that position through real estate, and then tactically speaking, what we need to do through specific strategies? Let me know. What I'm actually going to do, guys, just as a thing to hold myself and even maybe Jose accountable, is I would love to give you guys updates on how we're doing in our business. Because the truth is, if we can inspire you and we can show you that just seeing regular two dudes who can put on pants the way you do and can put on shirts the way you do, listen, all you got to do is take action, and we want to prove it to you. We're going to take that consistent action, and we're going to give you updates over time to let you know how we're doing and what we need to do. All right. I'm going to hold myself to that standard so that I can really implore you guys that if I can take action to get results, so can you. All right. So let me know in the chat if you're cool with that. Jeffrey, Lily, Chantel, thank you. Let me know if you're good with that. But one last thing, guys, just text the number on screen if you're interested in grabbing a yearly membership. It comes with a 2-day mastermind experience that's happening on June 26th, and we're so excited for you guys. And so with that said, from Jose and myself and Anastasia and Flora, thank you so much. Yes, muchas gracias. I'm working on it.
Gracias a todos.
Yes, sir. I love it. All right, until next time, God bless. Take care. Talk soon.
Thank you.